So, hello, my dear wholemates, Delilah and Jules.
Hello, Erika.
Hello.
Hello. Very excited. We know each other from the Evolutionary Ambassadors Academy that Barbara Max Hubbard brought to life beginning of this year before she transmitted to another world in April. But we are part of her academy and still very grateful to receive her legacy and pass on her legacy and bring it to life, which I feel we are doing with this co-creation destiny weaving as well.
Yeah.
And I'm particularly excited to talk to you both because you're planning your first co-creation experience at your home this upcoming weekend.
Yeah.
Yep.
So would you like to introduce yourself and tell us more what it's all going to be about?
You.
Ladies first.
So, to introduce me, I can tell a bit about my background. We together had a healing center here in our home, and for a few years from now. And a lot of people were coming to us, and we were creating here ceremonies. And that was also a sort of co-creation. And out of that, we felt like we're going to do it without the medicines. We had the medicines with us, like ayahuasca, San Pedro, and all that kind of stuff. And we too are looking for like, who are we and what are we coming to do here in this world, and what is our gift, and how do we want to express our self, and what wants to express through us. And that's always the question with me and my life. And when I met Jules, this was also his question. So we're on the same path together. And so we started the healing center together. And out of that, we started with all kinds of sorts of healing instruments. But then we felt like, wow, we are both doing also a lot of in that healing. So not to say that we are healers, we are not so like, we are healers, but we felt that things were going through us in the field. We felt it like that something was happening in the field while we were doing the ceremonies. And then on one day, I got a tap on the shoulders from evolutionary tap on the shoulders. You have to stop with all these the plant medicines, and what's next I didn't know. So we were in some time in not knowing what will come to us. So we let unfold it in our beings together, and just having a time and space of doing nothing, but we did a lot. They cleared a lot out and so on. And then came to the idea that we have this space in our home, and we love to invite people in who are also on the same track, who are also in line of what we are doing, like to find out who we are and what are our gifts, and to get out of the programming who's conditioning us, who's holding us back, that we are sort of imprisoned by this conditioning and unconditioning, so unfold. And this we can do with each other in a group, like when we come together. And that's the thing what we did last year for 3 times already in a weekend. But we didn't know Barbara Marx Hubbard, and we didn't know the word co-creation, but we were doing it already. It was a sort of natural thing what came out of us. And that's, when we come together in a space where everybody is invited to be themselves, to open up and to be more and more authentic self, and to connect with others in that space. And then you get the connection of the heart and the loving sphere and the intimate sphere where you come then it's creating because you are on the same path, and with your auras, they are doing the work. They are connecting with each other and melting into each other. We melt into each other with the parts were very intimate and open is already in ourselves, which are transparent, and they mix, they melt. And then during this melting, the resonance fields starts to come up. And that field is also the medicine. That field is also the thing what can heal the other parts who are not yet in the open and are somewhere in between. And when you meet someone and you get connected and you open up deeper and deeper, and then some layers come up where you want to look at. So that's the space we want to provide, where people can be totally themselves and also let the thing come to the surface. So you can your authentic self, you can play with that. It's also a playground. It's also to be playful with each other. Like it's not so serious. It's just loving each other and let's grow out of our little selves and let grow. And what you want to share? You want to share your authentic self. You want to practice your authentic self in an environment what's safe and what's holds you, holding the space. That's what we're doing in the weekend. We are holding the space, and we invite people in who are attracted to this kind of work. It's not work, it's just, it flows, it's easily. And there in that flowing, you recognize spots in yourself. It's going to be very clear, like, oh, there's something I'm holding on. It's not pure. It's my separate self. It's not a part or an ego self. And I want to look at it. And then you can look at it with the person who you are with, or with somebody else, and then it will clear out, because when we look at it, when we look out from love at these particles who are still a little bit afraid or fearful to come out, then and when love is there, you're like the mother who's birthing this peace into the world, and then it can flow easily, and it can flow easily in that safe environment where we're in with each other, and then you can take it with you home. And there you can also try it out with other people, with your loved ones and family, and changing towards your true self, towards who you really are. And that's the process of the co-creation experience, because it's an experience, and we don't know where it goes, we don't know where it leads, and we have the experience that. We'll melt together with it's in the melting, and it's
Cauldron.
in a cauldron, and in the cauldron we are a part of a bigger whole. And then you see after, because we do it not just 1 hour, we will be 24 hours together. We sleep together, and in that process, it will mix up together, and then you will feel that that there's a shifting of energy, and it comes out in a bigger whole, in something new, in something new was not there before we were separate parts. And when you come together, we create, that's a synergy. Creating, and
Good.
That's
Sounds very good. It looks like you wanted to add something to that, Jules.
What is that to add? Yeah, we will see. You were talking about Barbara and her evolution. Whether we are part of evolution. It started way back, and we're now on a path of evolution, and we can now make a quantum jump in our evolution. We go on with our evolution. And what we think and feel is that co-creation is one of the next steps in our evolution as a human being. And we have, of course, we had in all days we had competition. I'm better than you. We fight, and then a little cooperation, but still, what's in it for me? What's in it for you? There was a bargain, and now we can come to to the next stage of coming together, and that's co-creation. Where we have the presence, we are present in the process. And we are in the process of not knowing. We don't know what's gonna happen when we merge together. Just what Delilah said, it's cold when you put all the ingredients in, you put the fire under it, and then what comes out? You look at the old alchemy, they were stirring and stirring and stirring, and then they were very surprised what came out. Because that's new. And that's when you involved with each other, and you are ready to open and to be yourself and to put all your cards on the table. Then that can emerge in a new way of being together. And we think and we feel that is what Barbara meant, and that's what we meant, and we feel that is the next part in our evolution. And that all the old systems of bargaining, and we have lawyers, and it's not like this, and we have an agreement here and something there, and now you're wrong, and I sue you, and all that kind of stuff is always all stuff. And we'll see now, look at the world how it is. It's crisis all over. Because we now more and more see that the old way isn't functioning anymore. And there is a new way. But every time something is new in our evolution, then we are scared. And that's good. Because in the crisis, there is the birth, like Barbara said. And then we can say, okay, this isn't work, what's going to work? And then people pop up and say, hey, let's do this. Let's co-create. Let's start this process of co-creation. And that is what we're going to do the upcoming weekend. To invite some people we know. You are one of them.
Yes, I very much look forward to it.
And come to us, and it is an experiment. It's an experiment where we have, there are no rules or little bit rules. One of the rules is we can be yourself, and that's also the invitation of everyone. Just be yourself, and let, like Delilah said, everything come up, because we are all conditioned in our old world. And we are not a clean sheet with nothing written on it. We have our conditioning, we have our past, we have our traumas, and they may be there, they can be there. And then when they are in a loving environment, and then the heat is coming up, then they can come to the surface, and they, like Delilah said, they are welcomed in the loving field. So you are just good the way you are. That's my introduction.
Where everything is welcome, just the way we are.
Yeah.
And are there any specific exercises or tools which we can expect at this weekend, co-creation weekend?
Now,
well, we will be making a circle, and we do a meditation together to come more in the space of the heart, and then we tune in the energy, and what will come up. That's the thing. So we will talk a little bit about how we see what is co-creation. So we bring it in the space. So we invite it in. And there are some rules like that you stay here. You're not running away, but the things will come up that you'll be open to look at it, to be present in it, and to hold it in your space, and to go on to how you say it,
see what's coming up,
to face and to see what's coming up,
and express it, to tell. I think we do. That's what I think now. We can do kind of an inquiry. So just go 15 minutes. You have the floor. You sit and you tell everything that comes up. Everything. What you feel, what you think, what comes into your sense doors, but also what is in your mind, and you express everything. And you see, that's I learned this technique years ago. It was a very good technique in peeling off that layers of your ego that say, I can say this, blah blah blah. Now to go deeper and deeper and deeper, and go really deep in yourself, and express what's coming up, what's coming to the surface. And the other ones are just listening. without comment, without judging, welcome everything there is. This is a very profound technique in opening up. That's what I think now.
So there are some methods to open up more and more. And then when the flow is there, when then you're gonna feel into the field what is needed right now. So like sometimes there can be that we want to be in silence with each other, or we want to play some music, or there's something coming up. You feel with the group where the flow is going. So then we'll start to dance suddenly, and then you feel again that the energy is like, oh, now it's going backwards, we're going inwardly, and maybe you'll feel you want to connect with some person, or you want to hold someone, or you want to look in their eyes for some time and see what's coming up there. So all these kinds of things, we give room for that. We invite people to do that, and
and we're open for everything that the other participants come up with. Perhaps you have a brilliant idea at the moment. You feel, now this is it. I feel this is it, and express it and see how it is in the group. And it's for you and for all the other people as well. It's not so that we have a program and say, okay, from 9 to 10 we do this and then we start this. No, it's open. It's open. It is the flow of the energy. And just like Delilah said, when our auras meet and we are about an hour together, then there's a beautiful mixture of all the energies. And then from that energy, the evolution starts and co-creation starts.
And then there's someone who brings something like fruit, something to eat inside, and then somebody said, let's walk a little walk in nature. And we feel into nature. We're not just walking and talking in the mental part, but we feel into the field of nature, what is talking to us. So this co-creation, we go further with the plants and the animals and the weather and everything what comes in. It's also talking to us. So we're settling into the field, and we're feeling in that subtle energy. And we're feeling in the intuition what wants to express. So we hold this in the space. We hold some space to what wants to come through me, what wants to be said, and listen to that, to be totally in alignment with in present moment. Like what this always sort of. Somebody says something and then I feel like, oh, I want to tell this story, but is this now for me? So I'm the beholder of what is for the group to express now. So we falling into a we space what wants to bring and emerge into the group, and that's also an exercise, sort of. It's not that you do something, but it's also to exercise to come into the we space, and so that the more we are in that we space, the more we get connected to the source, or to eros, what life force energy, and then things will come alive. And playing, and it will be like easy going and uplifting and joyous and regenerating and rejoicing. And it's not that we want to plan that, we have to be in bliss or we have to be in that, but it will arise from out of us. And when it not arises, then it's what it is, and we'll be with that, and we're holding that. We're like the midwives who's letting come the birth of what will come.
Maybe silence. Silence. Whatever is coming, arises Welcome. That's why I like you call it the co-creative experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that describes it very well, what you both are talking about. Because we cannot pre-plan what is going to happen with these particular people who are going to be there. And even if we plan it, I know for sure in my life, it always comes totally different. So I like it that you're calling it an experience.
Yeah.
The big part of co-creation is welcome what I call the field of not knowing.
Mm-hmm.
We always want to plan, okay, what's going to happen. The field of not knowing is the field where everything can grow. Because there is.
I love this because I call it the weirding way.
Yeah.
And weird in Norse language is the web of all existence, which is also this dark womb of nothingness and at the same time all possibilities.
Yes.
And I love this because it explains this field of not knowing so well.
Yeah. So that's a big part of co-creation because the answer is there. And when you are too much in knowing, you want to know and I want to plan, then you miss the beautiful opportunities that the field, the universe has in store for you, because you are planning. And when you're open, then suddenly, boom, there it is. So, wow, this is great. And then you feel the flow of energy and the life force coming through you, and then you are in your merging, you are in abundance, you are in flow, you are in love with everyone. That's the experience.
Yeah.
That's the co-creation experience, and I love it. I mean, I live like this as well, and this is so important. This co-creation of resting in this field of knowingness, but holding space and setting the intentions from this field.
Yeah.
So I'm very grateful you're offering the space for this experience where we don't know what's going to happen, but the intention should be there to arrive and to have the space to explore and to play and to experience each other. And this is the co-creation which I feel is between the masculine and the feminine, the yin and yang.
Yeah.
To have the structure where everything can arise is the masculine, and then everything what is arising is the feminine. So thank you for both of this, for this space for co-creation.
Yeah. We can give an interview next week and how it was.
Me too. When I'm busy there.
Yeah, we can come together and we share our experience.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for the people who are now interested to come and join us, where can they find out more about this? Like, do you have somewhere a link or anything where people can find out?
Yeah, our website, the name is www.intomeic.nl from Netherlands. So we are in the Netherlands. Into Me I See, it comes from intimacy. And we started that I started in 2012 to become more intimate with me and for other people to become intimate with themselves. So
beautiful.
Yeah. So, and check out the website. There is somewhere there says offerings aanbod. It's half Dutch, half English agenda. You can see, and you have a link. And,
I will upload the link as well
you can upload,
with the video so people can look it up. And the information is then in Dutch and English.
No, it's English.
It's in English.
It's in English.
Yeah. So, and if they want to know more, they can write us an email and we answer email. And we'll see how it goes. And it's just a few days away. But it's beautiful that you do this and now interviewing us.
Yeah. And we're going to do this more. So it's not the last time. We're just starting.
No. It's unfolding. It's all about unfolding. So after this experience, I also look forward to connect and reflect back how it was. And it's also an invitation, since it's also in the group, Co-Creative Destiny Weaving. It's also an invitation similar to yours
Mhm.
For other people who feel like they want to work on similar thing, and they are lured by each other to do courses like this, or do webinars, or offer space in their own home like you do. And
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, this is what I'm so passionate about, and this is the legacy of Barbara Max Hubbard. I think also what we are living forth as evolutionary ambassadors is to create those spaces for those synergies to come alive and to create the new.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping it's going to spread.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has to be like
Yeah.
an oil.
Yeah, and it's gonna spread because it's our seed who is coming out, and we cannot stop this.
Yes.
We cannot stop this doing this, and we're working like 24 hours a day with to.
There is no other way.
There's no other way anymore. So yeah.
Sometimes it's a little scary, and sometimes it is a little, oh, where are we going to? Are we going to make it? And then something happens, and that gives us a lot of energy to go on.
The light comes in. And
Yeah,
it looks like it's sort of crisis, or you cannot see it, and then suddenly there's an opportunity, and then go in that opportunity. Oh, is this an opportunity? Sometimes you think that's, but yeah, it is. And then you step into it, and then wow, you getting in a stream, and suddenly you are there on somewhere else. And then, how did I do that? Yeah.
How did I get here?
How did I get here? It's like the
This
sun.
is part of the not knowing.
Yeah.
I mean, my experience is following the allurement without knowing why you feel attracted to certain people, to coming with us on the weekends, or to build your own group on something. Just follow your allurement and trust in that. Even if you don't know how it's going to go. And if we come together, like you said as well, there are going to be maybe shadows or limiting beliefs coming up, or feeling where we want to flee. This is totally normal.
Mm-hmm.
This is the weirding way, resting and the not knowing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a very sacred process.
Yeah.
Once the seed has come up, it just wants to share its gifts, potential, and then it's the most natural process to go on spreading the seeds and to connect with similar-minded people and building co-groups. I love that.
And that is the creation. You start creating, and when you do things that are the same as yesterday and a year ago, then you are recreating. And the recreation. So you go to the camping and you're recreation. You go on holiday, you're recreation. It's the same. You're the fish in the bowl, but we are going. We're going to the ocean, and then we are in the waves, and then there's a storm coming. Yeah, we're going to the storm, and then we learn to ride the waves of the sea of all existence, of the sea of the goddess, what will come through me. Like, what's my allurement? It's maybe it's not so nice what I'm allured to, but I'm going in there, going to the rabbit hole, like, and then I don't know, and then I see new things arises, and that's wonderful, and there's so many mystic things there are now coming to the surface because we're going into it, and then there are miracles going on around us now. It's amazing.
Miracles happen.
Yeah, like
there are miracles everywhere.
Because you are amazing.
I'm amazing, and you see. Into the eye we see. I mean, this is really what it is all about, is having the eyes to see, and also the courage to jump into the unknown. And then see the unseen, to see the unseen. For me, it's like the working with the invisible destiny thread, which is the soul. We also cannot see it, but it has got a sacred unfolding. Once we pick it up and feel connected to this destiny thread, it's a very similar process of going inside and holding space for its unfolding, and be aware for the signs and the impulses and the allurements. And it's like, for me, it's like being in a fairy tale, like the Alice in Wonderland, going around, not knowing how I get there, but very aware, like what is happening.
Yeah.
And this is a very fun way of living.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. The nicest way.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And all the challenges, they're all part of it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's so beautiful that when these challenges, when it looks like a sort of a chaos or a crisis, and when you go into it and you blow the air in it, then you can look in certain all these parts of it, and what is your part, and you're feeling into it in these parts, and then they go through you, and a lot of energy is coming out of that. You feel this life force is accumulating, and yeah, it's so an aliveness what comes out of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Can
Mhm.
only,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, share the
Mhm.
same experience. And that's why we need each other. Like,
Yeah. We certainly.
it's looking inside, but we also recognize each other by
Mhm.
looking at each other. We cannot do it alone. And,
Mhm.
and that's why I want to send us a message out there to other people as well.
Mhm.
I mean, we do so much inner work, and it is a unique path.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we are all divine beings. And by looking at you mirroring back
Mm-hmm.
what I am, what I truly am.
Mhm.
And this is so sacred. And
Yeah.
that's part of co-creation as well. I cannot co-create by myself.
Mhm.
I always need either my soul, the divine, or the others
Mm-hmm.
co-create with.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all these new things from you, what you don't know who you are, but still are inside of you, that wants to come out in the open. That's very vulnerable situation, very vulnerable process. So when you want to try out yourself, you want to get it more in the open. It's so beautiful when people are around that is giving you love. Whatever will comes up, whatever will come to the surface and out in the world, it's so beautiful to have people surrounding you who are not saying like, oh no, and like with when you were born, 70% of our things what we hear is you're not good enough, you're not doing it well, you have a red. It's an onvoldoende.
We have a, yeah.
At school,
At
you know,
school.
and it's all no, and you go back in the ground.
Yes, that's true.
And when we start to opening up, the seed wants to come out, and then there are a lot of people who next to you are saying, "Yeah, great, great, great," and then we can flourish, and we dare to go out in the open and to spread our wings and to spread our wattles and roots more and more into the ground, the wings and the roots more and more. Open, 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 open. And don't be scared, and just stay on the stage, on your stage, because you're here, you're born, so you have a stage here.
Mm-hmm.
It's truly there because you have a name, and you have a being, you have a body, so you have also a stage. And where's your stage? So and you have a public. Where's the public? So, and yeah, look for it. And just try it out in a space where it's safe, where it feels honored to be you, to be respected, to be everybody needs a respected place on this earth, and that's the thing I want to invite people to put themselves in that place, to explore and to explode their beings. And yeah, so we have all these authentic and unique beings running around looking like each other, like the herd, the sheep in the herd, but they're all like there's a fox and there's a wolf and there's a hyena and there's a bird. We are all so different from each other. This is differentiation, and we might share that with each other. We might come out of our closets, out of our shells, and yeah.
And beneath that, we are all connected. We have our uniqueness, and we are all connected.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
so the roots underneath,
yeah.
and also like the branches above, all connected to the divine. I love to see us as being the trees.
Yeah.
We are all like living trees.
Yeah.
Roots and wings, and as the center in the middle, as the bridge between the worlds. That's what we humans are.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
We heard the quote from Einstein.
Oh.
Yeah, it comes in. We got a quote from Einstein today from someone, and it was, yeah. You're either going to read it. It's also in English, so it's good to understand.
Yeah.
What?
We are slowed down sound and light waves, a walking bundle of frequencies tuned into the cosmos. We are souls dressed up in sacred biochemical garments, and our bodies are the instruments through which our souls play their music. Albert Einstein.
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that.
So that is, so we have this body, and also we have to take care of this body. But that's an different ballgame. Another issue. Well,
by expressing ourselves.
Yeah. But it's also
taking care of our bodies.
One of the co-creation thing is that we take good care of ourselves. So take care about what do you eat. Not only what do you physical, but also what comes into you. What do you see with your eyes? Is that a lot of bad news? Then we are so conditioned in the whole world's going. But you can also see the other side. The whole world is in a transformation process that brings us to the next level of evolution. It's necessary to have this crisis and to feel it deep inside of us, everybody. And I think when you ask the majority of people, most of them will say, yeah, it's not going well. But they are so afraid of stepping out of their comfort zone. And if they don't do it, there will be someone else who does it. Perhaps Mother Earth says, okay, that's enough. I shake a little and then, whoa! Yeah. So also in this weekend we provide, and the question to bring something from you that can feed us in our physical bodies. So good food, good drink, that kind of practical things is also good.
Yes, of course.
So we
have got physical bodies, and they need to eat as well.
So take good care of all our 5 sense doors that they have. What you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you counter, everything that has the good flavor. But as you come in and you feel, oh yeah, look, that's beautiful, it's nice. You have a beautiful room, and it's warm, and we have good food, and we have nice people, and so then the basics is already very good.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Well, I certainly very much look forward to co-create with you at this weekend. And anybody who feels allured by it to come and join us, I will send the link to your website where people interested can find everything out about it.
Yeah.
And
also about all the other things we do. We do a lot of helping people with going on in their lives. People struggle a lot. And they can also need some help. They have to help themselves, but when there's a question, we can help. Right?
So everybody is welcomed, really.
Yeah. Everybody's welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Erica, for the interview. And,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yes.
Co-creative experience, and I like to co-create with you. And we will definitely report back how it will be unfolding.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. I'll see you this weekend.
See you next weekend.
And
Okay.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.